And hello. Yes, I'm back with Doki Doki. We have discovered something quite disturbing. A bit more disturbing than I would like. What? Okay, good. Now, I'm going to jump right on into it. Oh, everything is weird. I don't know how much is left of this. Alright, it says. Give it narrow English. Okay. Words. Alright. I'm ready for words. Ugh. School day starts as ordinary as ever. And before I know it, it's over. I did that backwards, but again, words! After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Oh, and by the way, for those who haven't watched the past videos, this is basically restarting, but seriously bad things have happened. So, I mean, this isn't a new game at all. This is a continuing game, but bad things have happened. So, if you want to be caught up, make sure to watch the other videos before that. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but start with the anime club. Octopus? Oh. M Monica! Hey, yeah, because you're supposed to be here. Yeah, alright. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. Ah. It's been a while, right? Uh, yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. We rarely talk, but we're in the same class last year. Monica was probably more of the popular girls in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, completely annihilates my ability to speak words. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little. What did you come here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you can check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how you want to prepare for events. Much rather take something I personally enjoy and making something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. Yeah, okay. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? Um, it's kind of embarrassing, but there are only three of us so far. Really? Three? Hmm. Sure, you know how to count? It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hmm. Hey, Sarkabus, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? Ah, I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? Such a large indebtment. I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Oh, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Haha, awesome. You're really sweet, Sarkopus. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Mm. Actually, so I will shiver down my spine. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. We're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Is that what's gonna happen here? That never happened. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Eh? Uh, a guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be so mean, Natsuki. But anyways, welcome to the club, Succubus. All words escape me in this situation. Club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess, you're Mako's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes it look like she's more like a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. Okay, nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So, I ran into Succubus in the classroom and decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Succubus? Girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens up the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you don't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more members in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all their effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes cool events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard just to find these two. Don't you mean three? Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Uh, I guess. I like cold tea. I've mentioned this before. I've told you specifically this before. I like my tea cold. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That, that, that's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least joy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Succubus, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking of seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her tin cup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Oh, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Like me, I don't like people. I love y'all, just not other people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how rare can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop again? Loop again? Loop again? Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I just like grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. Goosebumps! At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really? If a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, I just... Natsu's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud and Give That Back. Fine, fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Uh, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them with me sometime? Not with me, but yeah. No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. And, uh, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. Its truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing them even the deepest reaches of your heart. As long as it's not actually your heart, then we're good. Do you have any writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe share some of your work, and you can set an example to help Natsuki feel more comfortable enough to share hers. Yeah, I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. We all sit in the club idly. I didn't see what that said, actually. What did that say? Oh, we all sit in silence for a moment. Same thing. Not really. Hey, I just got an idea. Really? How about this? Nessie and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Um, I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president, after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Sarkopoulos? Hold on. There's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Sarkopoulos. The thing is... What truth? We don't have enough members yet to form an official club. Oh, you had? You had? We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one before the festival... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. If writing poems is the price I need to pay to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right? Right. I've decided to join them. I'll join the Lich Club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Yeah, you sound so surprised. Do you really mean that, Sarkopoulos? I don't know. I'd love to take it back if that was an option. Yeah, it could be fun, right? You did really scare me there for a moment. I mean, if you really just left us after all this, I would be super pissed. Sarkopoulos, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think it's with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring it to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Sarkopoulos, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress this class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. I can. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be able to spend every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. You have a lot, a special poem. Would you like to read it? Absolutely. Oh, today I cut my skin open for the first time. It was exhilarating. I think I understand how Blake feels now. Supposed to be the responsible one, though, so I don't think I'll be doing it again, unless I decide to kill myself. I left a memento of the occasion below. So, this is someone who's doing things they shouldn't. I'm supposed to be the responsible one, though, so I feel like maybe that's Yuri? Yuri or Monica? I don't know. Hey, Monica, never mind. This is Yuri. Yuri's vice president now, so now she's supposed to be responsible and mature. Yeah, this is Yuri talking. So she's doing a no-no. This was a memento of it, so she's not doing it again unless she decides to, off herself entirely. Understand how blank feels. Sayori or Monica? Hmm, that's worrying. We can't even write a thing for Monica. Alright, well, screw it. I'm off. Well, actually, for the sake of sakes, I'm gonna go Yuri. I hate that that's a word. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go Yuri, just because, it's her turn. I like Natsuki a lot. I just don't want to do Natsuki every time. Uh, Alright, so I got everyone on Yuri. Sorry I didn't make any interesting poems with that one. I don't know how long this is going to continue. Hey again, Succubus. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, back at the literature club. No school, no waking up in the morning, just poof at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Hi, Yuri. How are you? Thanks for keeping your promise, Archibald. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Are we going to talk about that? Okay, apparently we're not. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here to hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. I like how you're blocking the text, Monica. Yeah, I get the idea of what she's saying. Something about you have a big mouth for someone who. Oh my! I'm. Hold Zaz. You had nothing. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm. I'm sorry, Sarkopus. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glaze. Um. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. It only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean to be like that. You really don't want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'm happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are, are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. By the way, am I crazy or is the room tilted? I just realized that the room looks tilted. Huh. And we could, you know, d discuss it if you wanted. This is, how is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Mom to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in the book, but I can't help notice her intense expression. I think she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Nazi's rummaging around the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri for a little bit more, but at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse at the cover of the book. Looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she knows me looking at her. It wasn't peeking glances, I swear. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, I probably would have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... Is that the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how you come to have two copies of the same book. Well, I stopped by the bookstore yesterday, and that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol in the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into human experiment prison. Put them. It was turned into a human experiment. Put them. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. You say that's relatable, you say. Interesting. But the facility gets even worse and starts selectively breeding people by cutting off the limbs and fixating them to. Uh, oh, that might be a bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean, yeah, nothing relatable that involves cutting off my limbs and affixating them to other parts of my body where they don't belong. No, not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? You already made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. It's a so dark turn come from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Succubus? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that kind of story. It's the kind that challenges you to look at life from strange new perspective when horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Interesting that you say it in such descriptive, bold text. Then, hold on. Don't you do that to me. Then suddenly. Okay. Sorry. Then suddenly. It's just. Just imagine the game glitching out. Then suddenly. It's just a very long why. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I didn't hear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books, writing fill my thoughts. Yeah, we're gonna be using this a lot. Oh no, it's not gonna let me see it. It was like my whole body, and that's all I saw. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Like me. Oh yeah, it's not gonna let me see it. Damn it. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's, well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Alright, I won't lie. That's a little creepy. Yes, I mean, you don't have to, but, uh, what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. Alright, is it fine if I sit here? Sit next on the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah, are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. That's, I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in the company with someone. Yeah, I see. Well, just tell me if I end up stretching you or anything. Alright. I opened the book to the first cover. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe it's a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just bathing in something. Oh, it's not gonna let me see it. That was like, I don't know what I said. It was more like I was just bathing in the blood or bathing in the basket of your beautiful presence. I don't know, it was something fucking creepy. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I saw my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then I hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page, Yuri slides it under her thumb after I flip it to her side. But holding it like this, or huddled even closer than before, it's actually kind of distracting me. As if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face. She's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not used to the reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you're being so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. I continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assumed that she had finished this page before me, so turn it by my own. We continue the first chapter in science. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side. She catches it under her own thumb. Hey, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things, so she says and all that. Ah, that's what you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. Yeah, not you crazy. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came to my head. You feeling alright? Eh? Yuri's been fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little. My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest to feel her heartbeat. I, I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. All right, don't put yourself. Yuri stands up, practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Sarkopus, did something happen just now? Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and slip it back into my bag. Who should I show my phone poem to first? Well, I made it. I made it for Yuri. But alright. Told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably unfair if I share mine with her first. Sarkopus, you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. Oh, but go up, because I made it for Yuri. Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer, so maybe I'm not very good, but yeah, I did put effort in. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve on, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I gotta share mine now. No, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay, so it looks the same as first. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest, I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, like my poem was. So people don't even take my own writing seriously. But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. It's like when it's easy to read but hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do the great things could be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight into wordplay. Like I set up a rhyme at the end but made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I tried to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Nazi's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, going to show it to Monica, see her scary ass. Hi, Sarkopus. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring those things up. Much better off just going with the flow until I get more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Sarkopus. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's the sort of barrier that we all need to learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Monica, my poem. Mm-hmm. Great job, Sarkopus. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. I'm good at deep things. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. You know, with metaphorical writing that I just jumbled a bunch of large words together. No, verbs or adjectives or any of that. Just boom, vicious, vivacious, succulent, misery, pain, and that was my poem. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Oh wait, is that this line? I don't know if I read that last line. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. Okay, yeah, I did. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is totally detached from reality. I don't mean like that's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time on her own. In her own head, that's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must really be starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she'll end up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. We all just started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time. So I'm more than glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sounded pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I'll always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Alright, so the same thing with the hole in the wall. Maybe. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? That sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks in my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. If it's right there, he's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. That might have been different. So, what do you think? It's very freeform. Yeah, if that's what you would call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performing out loud, it can be really powerful. That's what the inspiration behind this sound. Ah, well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. Guess you could say I had some infamy recently. I've been influencing my poems a bit. And infamy? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because I'm not coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated. Ugh, I can't speak now. Brain gets too fixated. Too fixated on a specific point. If you try hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So, just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Alright, so we're gonna finish up Yuri. I wanna see her amazing reaction to this and all the love she's gonna have for this. As Yuri reads my poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Eh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's, I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a deep breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? No, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find words. Like me, every day. She traces her fingers along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that their specific writing habits are usually typical in new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think that the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both style and the expressiveness are weakened. I don't know what you're talking about. Once she's finds her train of thoughts, if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone. Not mine, though. And she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's nothing that they can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even simple poem. Not just finding and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club can give you more valuable feedback. I'm asking you to be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about other people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if you're apologizing to yourself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a ledge club? Alright, Ghost under light. This does seem to be the same. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlights have withstood the test of time. The last to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I don't understand that poem as near as much. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah. Uh, that's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even if it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Succubus. Really? Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. Yeah, that's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh. Oh, it's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so. Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Succubus. Me too. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. As if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Is that music different? I don't know. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way the poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. It's, I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly share each other's sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. I think I completely butchered that whole sentence. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem that on the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? Clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Um, well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would ask someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it. And Sarkibus did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've been spending a lot of time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Mm. And Sarkibus liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Sarkopus appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I don't know. You kind of just told me that my poem's bad. No. If I was full of myself, I would, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. It's just words. It's like me trying to speak every day. Just well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boots magically grew a size bigger as soon as Succubus started showing up. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out our own insecurities on each other like that. You really do act as young as you look, Natsuki. Is this nice? Me? Look who's the one... Oh, me? Look who's talking, you wannabe edgy bitch. Oh my. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone with a mental age to comprehend. See? You're just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? You want to prove anything and stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counter... Oh wait, if you think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute, then the only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you already do, don't you? Oh, so she knows about that. Did did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let's talk about everything you really think. I'm sure it'll be head over heels for you after this. Uh, Suddenly Yuri turns toward me as if she just noticed I was standing here. Sarkopoulos, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Oh my, this is... Alright, now. Come on. Hmm. Hi, Monica. Um, hey, Sarkopoulos. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some person, I am right. I can't even confront my old club members properly. Yeah, sure, yeah, uh-huh. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes, but I never have it in me to be put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Yeah. Interesting. Suddenly, Nazi runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away crying. Well, she didn't say that, but yeah. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Sarkopoulos, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like that. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it tomorrow. Completely. I don't trust you, Monica. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me as she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay here a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. Kinda sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Sarkopus. It would be just embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I really don't have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble. All right. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 All right. All that is magically gone. Really don't have a choice, do you, Monica? Yep. You just do that. Well, you know what? We're going with Yuri again because this is apparently what we're doing. Oh, damn it. Whisper's cute? Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know why I picked Marshmallow. Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop here because I have a feeling we're nearing the ends or another bad spot. Or should I keep going a little bit? I don't know. I think I'll stop here and I'll do another one. Maybe a bit longer. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stop here. That's a day gone. But oh my lord. Everything with this is changing all the time. Like, it's bad. This whole thing is bad. Bad. And yeah, Monica's evil. We have determined that Monica is evil, absolute overlord, evil person here. She's doing something with the game, and yes, she's messing with people. She's screwing people over in horrible ways. I still don't know what's gonna happen to Natsuki. Yuri looks like she's cutting herself, so she'll probably end up committing suicide at some point. That's my educated guess, my very big brain educated guess that yeah, um, this is bad. There is no choice to make to fix this. Oh, okay though. I'm gonna stop there before I have to make a very sad video. So, okay, guys, I will see y'all the next time I decide to crawl out to my lair and suffer at the hands of Monica's thick thighs and Yuri's. Well, I'll just stop there because I don't know how long Yuri will be with me. Anyway, guys, thank y'all for coming, and I will continue Doki Doki Feels a bit more frequently as I got kind of caught up with streaming and new things. But I'll see y'all, and thank you. Bye bye.